If you learn this only a skill, then you're going to make a lot of money. I found one skill they all had in them common. So 2 years ago, I asked myself a question. What is the one skill that can make you irreplaceable on the marketplace? What is the one skill that I need to learn that can change my life, that can make me more impactful, that can make me great, that can make me irreplaceable on the marketplace? So I started reading books of the billionaires, and I started reading about leaders, great politicians, and great philosophers also. And then I found one skill they all had in them common, and that skill was the skill of selling. These people were so great at convincing somebody about what they have to offer to them that people started following them and people were mad about them. So if somebody can learn this one skill well, this skill is never going to finish, because that will something that we have always done in the past. The good communicators, the people who had the ability to sell to somebody, ruled and were the most powerful. And even now, if you see all the people who are doing great, these people do not have degree. These people do not have learned a lot of things, but these people are great at convincing somebody. So that after that, I started improving that skill only. And then I went through some of the techniques, some of the rules that if somebody follows, it's going to change their life. And it will make them so convincing that they can convince anybody, sell anything to anybody. Not through manipulation or deception, but through some techniques, some methods that always work. And there is nothing that can stop these things. So let me make you understand first what sales is. A lot of people, if you see, there are people and there are companies that think that sales is about manipulating somebody. It's about manipulating, brainwashing somebody's brain. But it's not. Because if you are making something, if you're making a deal, if you're convincing somebody through deception, through wrong means, then the next time when you want to convince them, you cannot convince them. And your reputation will ruin itself. You will not be able to build your reputation if you try to manipulate, try to sell somebody by some wrong means, by some wrong ways, through deception, through manipulation. And so sales is about convincing people for following your products, ideas or beliefs. Not unethically, but ethically. Means you have to convince other people that whatever you have, whatever you're offering them, whether it's an idea, it's a product, or it's an idea, or it's a belief. If you see all the business people, what they sell is they're selling products, isn't it? What they're doing. If somebody is offering, or suppose a company is offering a camera, what is it? Product, a mobile phone, a packet of chips, anything. They are selling products. Then a politician sells ideas, visions. They will tell you that we are going to do this, and we are going to make these changes. And if you see religious people, religious leaders, great philosophers, they are selling beliefs. They will tell you a certain method, certain ways about something, but they are so convincing that people tend to follow them. So it's about coming up with a product, idea or belief. Understand that. And then sales is more about helping people making right choices. So selling something in a right way means you are helping people. You are assisting somebody to make right choices. And if you're doing it well, the person is going to trust you. And then when they trust you, you will build a brand through their trust. So 4 things you need to understand and learn and develop if you want to be a great salesman. And believe me, if you learn this only a skill, learning to sell to somebody ethically, then you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of, like you will have network of great people. You will be able to do things. You'll earn power, you'll earn potential. Everything you want, you can have it only when you learn this skill well. And so The first thing is convincing yourself way before trying to convince others about a product, idea or belief. So a lot of people, if you go somewhere, there are a lot of salesmen, but they are not authority. They are ordinary salesmen. They talk about product, idea or belief of somebody else that they are not convinced from. But my way is, if you want to sell something to somebody, you have to first convince yourself. If deep within you know that whatever the product, idea or belief you're selling is for the betterment of the people sitting next to you, then you will look convincing, you will have conviction, you will have energy and passion, you will have certainty, and people see nothing but how competent you are, how much confidence you have when you're talking about that particular product, idea or belief. So the first step is to convince yourself. You have to, if you're selling an idea, suppose if I'm teaching somebody about communication. So first of all, I have to convince myself that I can talk about communication because I have improved my communication. And if I have convinced myself, the passion, the energy by which I will talk about something will be different, will be great. It will reflect confidence. It will reflect points and powers. So first of all, before trying to sell anything to anybody, ask yourself, are you convinced from that? Because if you're not convinced, you will not be really able to convince others. Because your nervousness, your not believing in a particular thing, idea, will be seen in your face. Even though you might hide it, but you will not be able to hide it, even if you want it. So first, convince yourself. Second is being comfortable. A lot of people I see, when they talk about something, the product, or where they're trying to convince somebody something, what they do is, they have a wrong posture. They're always worried about their posture. They're always correcting it. They're not comfortable. They're trying to stand in a different way. They're trying to make changes in their posture and all that. But when you talk to somebody about something, you should be absolutely comfortable. You don't have to do something. It should happen automatically. Suppose when you're talking about something, suppose you watched a movie, a beautiful movie, and you're talking to your friends about that movie because you felt great about that movie, will you be talking and trying to correct your posture or your posture will be so convincing that you don't have to correct anything? When you're convinced from that particular thing, you will easily be able to convince others. So being comfortable means you don't have to make any change. You have to be absolutely comfortable, like you are at home, or remember a time when you are very comfortable. You don't have a worry. You don't have to think about something. You don't have to worry about the outcome of something. You are just very comfortable. You are very confident. You are feeling very good. So the next thing is not forcing, but being certain. So when you talk about something great that you think change your life, you will not try to force somebody with that particular thing. A lot of salespeople try to force somebody to buy something. Or if you believe in certain idea, what happens is try to impose on somebody. You try to forcefully tell somebody that you have to follow these ideas or whatever, and you try to prove yourself right through arguments, through different methods. But when you are certain about it, when you know that product is better, and when you are not trying to force anything upon anybody, that's when you will look convincing. Unattached because of competence. So when you are great, if you see the greatest products that you have, that they have to sell, like Apple phones, like if you see Sony cameras and all that, these people know they have the best product, and so they are not attached. What if somebody rejected? What if something went wrong? What if somebody did not like their idea? But they are absolutely certain, because they know what they are providing, what they are selling is best for others, and so they don't have to be worried about it. The next point is preparation. It is more important than anything else. I read somewhere that Steve Jobs used to prepare his speech for 90 hours. His 15 or 20 or 30 minute speech would take 90 hours of preparation. 90 hours of researching, knowing everything about the product that he's going to talk about, and then when he would come on the stage, he would set the stage with fire with his performance, and everybody was convinced by his ideas. I also read about Winston Churchill. He would prepare for 1 hour for a 1 minute of speech. So the preparation matters more than anything else. So when you're preparing for something that you're going to talk about, you should know about it. Know about it 100%. If you're talking about something and you don't have the idea of what you're talking about, if you don't know all about it, then you will not be able to convince somebody. You will not be able to give them the right perspective, right way to follow something, to do something, to buy something. Then the second thing is know who. You should absolutely know the person you are selling something to. Like if somebody is bald, do you understand the meaning of bald? If somebody has no hair and you're trying to sell him a comb, will it work or not? So if you're trying to sell somebody something that he does not need or that she does not need, they will never buy it. And no matter how much you force or how competent you are, they're not going to buy it. So you have to understand who are you selling something, whether it's going to work for them or not. Then the third thing is know how. You should know how you're going to do that. Your preparation, the product, what are you going to say? What are the things that can help you make that person feel that they can buy the product? And the last thing is using empathy. It is the most powerful weapon. Empathy is all about understanding other people, understanding their perceptions, their beliefs, why they would buy something, why they would understand something, why they would get convinced with your ideas. And if you not understand their perspective, their point of view, then you will not be able to do it. So using empathy means understanding beliefs of other people. So if you are trying to sell somebody, first of all, understand what they think about a particular thing. So if you're talking about religion, you have to understand the belief of other people. What do they think about a particular religion? And then you can talk about an idea or a religion or a product. If you do not understand their belief, and if you just try to sell or try to convince them through your arguments, it will not work. People only buy, or people only want to get convinced with the idea or beliefs that they are already thinking about. People do not do something beyond their belief. Like if a person is not comfortable speaking on the stage, and at the first time if you just push them on the stage to speak, they are not going to do that, because our belief is our limitations that we put on ourselves. So it is important to understand the beliefs of others. Next is listening. When it comes to selling, the second most important thing is listening other people, not making argument, not trying to show what you have, but listening to their problems, to their queries, to their troubles, what they really want. And then when you understand them, when you listen to them, you'll exactly know what the problem is, and then you can handle the objection through asking questions. The more question you ask from somebody about something, the better you'll know about them. So it is important to ask good question if you want to handle the objection, rather than trying to come out with different point of views and your perspective and your ideas. If you listen to them and if you ask them the right question, then slowly you'll find what you need to do in a particular situation. So if you understand these ideas, not theoretically but practically, if you apply them, you'll find yourself building authority, not only becoming somebody who sells something, but then becoming somebody whom people refer when they want to do something, when they want to buy a particular product or idea or belief. So using these ideas will really transform anybody's life. It's going to take a lot of time to learn it. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It takes a lot of practice, and all those things means I always believe that if you don't execute your ideas, it's worth no more. So executing on your ideas are more important than the ideas itself. Got it?